Hey, this is Brian with Dixie Law Group. Today we're going to talk about several myths associated with estate planning. One myth we commonly hear is that estate planning is only for the wealthy. Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, it is true that most wealthy people do have estate planning, but it's because they have a team of advisors telling them that's what they should have. The truth is, everyone already has a will, and it's called the law. But you may not like what the law says. That's why it's important you talk with an attorney about having a last will and testament, or a living trust, or some other type of trust. Another misunderstanding we hear quite often is that young people don't need estate planning. Well, the truth is, in Kentucky, every adult 18 and above needs at least a power of attorney. In Kentucky, if something happens and a person loses capacity to make decisions for themselves, take care of their finances, without a power of attorney, their family will have to petition the court for guardianship or conservatorship. And oftentimes that ends up in a jury trial. That's something your family doesn't want to go through. So we recommend at the age of 18, everyone have at least power of attorney. And then as life progresses, that plan needs to be updated. When you have kids or get married, you definitely need a last will and testament. You need that to make sure your spouse gets everything you have should something happen to you, or to nominate a guardian for your minor children. And then when the kids grow up, maybe you need to think about how you are setting up your nest egg for them. And then maybe we think about protecting your assets as you approach retirement. The truth is, life changes every day. And often we need to make updates to our estate planning documents at least every few years. Another myth that we commonly hear is that I've already told my family what I want done. They'll take care of it. Well, guess what? If it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. A court's not going to hear testimony about what Mamaw wanted and what Mamaw wanted to give all the grandkids or give all the kids. It has to be in writing. We have to have witnesses, and preferably we want it notarized. And we want to be specific. We don't want to just say everything goes to my kids equally, because really that doesn't tell us anything. That just leaves us with problems to figure out later. So we want to be specific. We need it in writing. Everyone needs a last will and testament. Another myth we often hear is that, hey, I'm married. If something happens to me, my spouse gets everything. Well, not in Kentucky. So according to Kentucky law, if you have property titled in your name, your spouse may only get half. That is not a situation you want to be in or you want your spouse to deal with. So it's best to talk with an attorney about how you should title your belongings, your property, your assets, and then document in writing with a last will and testament what you want done. Another misconception about estate planning is that it's just about the distribution of your assets. And while that's a big component of estate planning, there's much more to it. The reason we want a detailed estate plan is because most wills will just say, divide everything amongst my kids equally. Well, that sounds fine and dandy, but how exactly do we do that? That's gonna cause more stress on your family trying to figure that out than if we have a well-detailed plan that they just have to check the boxes. Do this, do that. This goes here, that goes there. When your family is dealing with a last will and testament, or they're dealing with distributing assets out of a trust, it's already a stressful time because they've lost a loved one. We don't want to force an additional burden on them with having to solve problems at the same time. So there are a lot of myths surrounding estate planning, even more than what we talked about today. It's complicated, but that's why we're here. We're here to help you. Give us a call.